Pay close attention. This isn't something you see every day.
Welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about the G.I. Joe classified series Cobra Firefly. Now, I picked this guy up off of BBTS, also known as Big Bad Toy Store, for anybody who doesn't know that. And I got him in the mail yesterday, so here we are getting ready to take a look at this guy. Now here's the packaging right here, very nice artwork on the front, and he is number 84 in the line, some more artwork on the side, and then of course his biometrics and everything on the back. This side over here, number 84, with some more of that artwork, and then of course this QR code that leads absolutely nowhere. So let's get this guy out of the box. Let's take a look at him and his accessories, and let's get on with this review. Okay, so now that we have Firefly out of the package, I have to say, aesthetically, this guy is very pleasing. But to my chagrin, there are a couple negatives that I have with this figure. But before I get into all that nonsense, I don't want to jump the gun. I just want to say that this guy here, I mean, he is shrouded in mystery, right? So, yeah, I mean, this guy was raised by a ninja clan. He's fluent in martial arts. He is a demolitions expert. He's an arsonist. He's a trained thief. I mean, this guy's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Now that I've said all that, you know, Firefly, he he has told many people, or I shouldn't say many people, but I remember the one episode where he breaks into like a lab or something, that he's trying to steal something, you know, because he also is a hired mercenary by Cobra. Yes, he comes out and he says something, I don't know if I'm going to get the quote right, so please don't hang me for getting it wrong, but he says something like, I have shrouded you in darkness for your safety, not mine, but to see my face or my identity is your demise, something like that. Now I don't think that's absolutely correct, but he does have a quote that's like that. I know it's not correct, but I tried. So anyway, listen, let's get into taking a look at this figure, look at his details that they have done with this Firefly, because this is not the Cobra Island Firefly. This is the original Firefly. Now, if I'm not mistaken, on the original, I believe the Cobra insignia was on his right arm, not his left, and I believe it was up on the shoulder, not the bicep. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Look at that face sculpt. Now, they gave him blue eyes, which is actually pretty crazy, because if you actually see how they come through, and I like the camo, the gray camo, you know, that he has on him. I like his bandolier with the grenades and the C4 here on the side, or if those are, maybe those are detonators. Yeah, I mean, this guy has a bunch of pouches. Then moving down here to his waist, it looks like he has some, looks like either concussion or smoke bombs. More pouches coming down to his side holster. He also has a sheath on the back of his arm for his knife. The camo once again. There's a Cobra insignia on the bicep here. I always remember it being up here on the shoulder, which would have been cool to have it up on the shoulder. But hey, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. You know, they have to change things up, I guess. And then, okay, so here he has the C4 on his leg. And then moving down to the knee pads and then his boots. Yeah, I think he's a great looking figure. Now, as far as going in, he has the zipper here, which then shows his undershirt that leads to the kind of like the turtleneck here for his mask. But otherwise, I mean, he's a nice looking figure, and it's cool because it is a throwback to the original Firefly. Now, before I get into taking a look at his accessories that this guy comes with, because he does come with a few things, I'm going to point out my pet peeve that I have. Now, this is a newer figure in the line, and if you guys have seen my latest videos, Mindbender, Torpedo, Bazooka, you know, the Snow Serpent, Shipwreck, you'll hear me say and praise how Hasbro has done a great job with these figures. one of my pet peeves in this line that has always been and still is the wiggly waggly top. Look at that. He's just wiggly waggly at the top. I don't know why they made him like Arctic Storm Shadow here with the way this waist is. Now, when I got this guy, his belt was way up. Now, I don't know if they did that to cover that. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to sit up there, but if you ask me, it should be sitting down here around his waist, not up top. Now, if that's the case, then okay, fine, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Even with it up there, it's still just wiggly waggly. It's awkward. And yes, with this down here, you can see how it just really kind of goes in there. So that's my biggest pet peeve with this figure, and the fact he feels really light. But as far as his movement, as far as him moving, I mean, his joints are stiff. They are not frozen. So like I said, I always say, stiff joints are better than frozen or seized up joints where you have to give him that hot bath to get him to move. So we're not dealing with that in this aspect of Firefly. I mean, yeah, he's good. I mean, you know, I can pose him out, and he looks, you know, like I said, he aesthetically he is pleasing. You know, he looks good. I think that you know, there's a couple things that they could have fixed, but you know what? I mean, besides the wiggly waggliness here, I can't forgive that because we're way beyond that Arctic Storm Shadow or Flint that had this kind of issue. So I that's just something I can't forgive. But I'm not going to sit here and trash them and get all crazy about the situation. I'm just going to let you guys know that, hey, man, buyer beware. You may not want to pick this guy up because of that reason. Then again, if you're just going to pose him and put him on your shelf, I think you'll be all right. I mean, he poses, he stands. It's not a big issue as far as that. But as far as the wiggly waggliness, yeah, we're beyond that. Same thing with this here. This like gapping here in the legs, like it's really awkward. Like they kind of move backwards with this figure, or they used an old buck, I guess, with this guy. I don't know which, but come on, man. Come on, Hasbro. Come on. Let's not do this. I mean, I've been looking forward to this figure for a while, since the Cobra Island one, and finally we get him, and it's like they took a Fortnite figure and slapped it together and made Firefly, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's what they did, but I just think that it could have been a little bit better. So, you know, the newer line that has come out where he is part of this, the figures are more robust and they move so much better, so much easier. They don't have this wiggly waggliness in there, and they don't feel so light, and they don't have these big gaps in the hip socket areas. All right, enough of my rambling, guys. I apologize that I go into 7 minutes of rambling about a figure that they could have done better on. But hey, you wanted Firefly in his, you know, original form. You got him. Here he is. And maybe this is just mine that's this way. I don't know. But it just sucks because I've been looking forward to this guy for a long time. Don't get me wrong. He's going to look good on the shelf just standing there. But as far as that goes, that's pretty much as good as it's going to get with him. All right. So with that being said, let's get into taking a look at the accessories that this guy comes with, because he does come with quite a few things, and then we will end this review. Starting off, we have his night vision goggles, which is fabulous. I like the green. I like the reds. I do like that so much. There is nothing on the inside for a display or anything like that, but they did a fabulous job as far as these night goggles. Next, we have his knife, and yeah, it's just casted all in black plastic. There's a little bit of detail on there, but very nice. All right, so next we have his backpack, and man, I gotta say that they did a beautiful job with this all the way around. I mean, you have the pegs to hold his gun, and then you have the little pegs on the side to hold the mines. You have some grenades, some other explosives. It looks like he has some detonators. It actually, that looks like it looks almost like a heart monitor on there, or a digital wave type deal going on right there. But it's actually really nice that they put that detail into his backpack. Next, we have Firefly's landmines, and these are cool. The reason why I'm showing one flipped around and one not is because you see the little red button where you would step on it. It's kind of like a bouncing Betty, right? And then you have the peg hole right there, which actually plugs into those little peg holes on the side of his backpack. Next, we have Firefly's handgun, and it's really nice. It's just all casted in black plastic, and it comes with a suppressor. So you just take the suppressor and you're going to plug it in here on the peg, and there you go. Now it's on there, and then you have a port right there for some blast effects, and I think it looks really, really good. I think they did a fantastic job. Now I don't know if this with the suppressor on there will fit into his sheath, so I'm going to take it off and I'm going to put it in the in his holster, I should say, not sheath, in his holster without the suppressor on there. And I'll give it a shot off camera and see how it works, but I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll find out. Next, we have Firefly's machine gun, Uzi or MSG, and it's very nice. I do like the way it's set up, and you can pull the magazine out of it and you can put it back in. And I'm incorrect. I mean, yes, it fits on the pistol itself, but also it goes here actually onto his machine gun. That is what the suppressor is actually for. It actually looks a lot better than it does on that little handgun. So that's on me. The only thing I'm not understanding is that on the box, this is painted green and mine's all black. So, hey, you know what? It is what it is. They didn't paint it. It's all good. It's a nice looking weapon. Next, we have his remote control for the explosive RC car, which is actually really nice. I'm glad that they put this in there. No place to store it on them, but yet we still have that. And then we have the RC car itself. You can see it has some C4 strapped to it, battery, bottom's just flat, and yes, the tires do move, which is actually pretty cool that they added that in there. So I mean, very nicely done as far as adding this accessory to the figure. Just really quick before we get into the comparisons, I just want to say one thing, and that is the simple fact that if you pop off his hands, you can remove these gauntlets that he has here on the wrists. I think that is actually pretty cool, because that way you can have him displayed with those or without. So that's actually pretty cool that they're not molded onto the figure, that you can actually take them off. So I do appreciate that. I really, really do. I mean, besides the little issue I have with the waist, I think they did a really good job. All right, so that is all of the accessories that this guy comes with. And let me tell you something, he comes with some really cool stuff. The only thing, like I said, that I have the issue with is this right here. Everything else is great. Sculpt, paint, accessories, everything is great. Another thing I want to show off on the backpack, which I didn't show, is this is where the mines connect to on these little ports on the side. His gun fits perfectly right here, and you have his little gun in the holster, his knife. The only thing is, like I said, you didn't have a place to store it. Well, the suppressor goes on the actual machine gun itself. This here, I mean, you're going to store it in his hand. There should have been like a little thing here on his in my opinion, should have been here on the side, just to hold it. Just to hold it. I don't know if there's a spot. I didn't even check to see if there's a spot here on the actual backpack to hold it. I mean, you have this nub here. I guess that's where you could, I don't even think you could store the gun there. Can you store his car there? No, you can't store his car there, but whatever the case is, you know, he could pretty much either hold it or, you know, and the car, of course, you're going to leave next to him, or however you're going to display your figure. I'm not saying buyer beware. I'm just saying to you that with this here, it's kind of a slide backwards, and somebody will probably have something nasty say, oh, what do you mean to slide back? Well, it is, considering the fact of all the great things that we've had come out as of late. And this guy is supposed to be part of that new aesthetic. And yeah, to my chagrin, there it is, man. There it is. But hey, you know what? Listen, overall, let me not bash and let me not be negative all the time. He's a great figure. He looks good. He's awesome. I'm happy to have him in my collection because he is the original Firefly. And to me, listen, for the bang that I got for my buck with this figure, it's fine. Like I said, he's gonna sit on the shelf, and that's where he's gonna be. And I can pose him, so that's all that matters. But with that being said, guys, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for tuning in, checking out the new material that I've been putting up. And yeah, as always, you know, guys, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below. And as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on anything new that I am putting up. And yes, thank you once again to everybody who's new, everybody who's been here, and everybody who has been here and left. Thank you for taking the time to watch these videos and for leaving comments. I appreciate it. I do love the fact that we all, excuse me, talk back and forth with each other, you know, through the comment section. I think that's great. So with that being said, guys, I'll catch you on Flippity Flip.